Drama of John Layfield. Finally, the truth is out. We're diving into all the allegations about his violent behavior and the crazy backstage drama that went down. So let's get started. John Layfield had a career that spanned decades, beginning long before he ever stepped into WWE's bright lights. He started in the wrestling world in the late 1980s, cutting his teeth in smaller promotions and learning the ropes from veterans. Layfield was always a presence in the ring, not just because of his size. He had a strong, commanding look, but because of the way he carried himself. His early matches showed a blend of toughness and technique, the kind that made people take notice even in regional promotions. Before adopting the JBL persona, Layfield wrestled under the name Bradshaw. During the 1990s, he became a central figure in tag team wrestling as part of the Acolytes Protection Agency, or APA, alongside Ron Simmons. The team was known for its no-nonsense approach and unique combination of wrestling skill and personality. Fans loved them because they brought a sense of authenticity to their roles. In the ring, they were aggressive, yet they also had a humor that made their segments memorable. Outside the ring, they were seen as enforcers, someone you did not want to cross. APA's rise in WWE came during a period when the company was exploring edgier content, and their gimmick as beer-drinking, tough-as-nails mercenaries fit perfectly. They would show up when called upon, either to protect or punish, which made them a reliable presence in storylines. Their segments often included playful elements like backstage antics and barroom brawls, which helped the duo become a fan favorite. Bradshaw's chemistry with Simmons was undeniable, and their timing in both matches and comedy bits made them stand out. By the early 2000s, Layfield was ready to transition into a singles career. This shift would eventually lead to the birth of JBL, a character that represented wealth, power, and arrogance. JBL was portrayed as a wealthy businessman who looked down on everyone else. The transformation from Bradshaw to JBL was dramatic. It wasn't just a new name, it was a complete reinvention. His look changed, his attitude changed, and he embraced a character that could command attention on every level. Fans either loved to hate him or hated to love him, but everyone paid attention. JBL's rise in singles competition was methodical and deliberate. He participated in the King of the Ring tournament in 2004, using the platform to showcase both his in-ring skill and his new persona. He carried himself with a confidence that made him believable as a top-tier talent. Soon he was thrust into main event storylines, challenging for and eventually capturing the WWE Championship. Winning the title solidified JBL as a top-level performer and proved that he could hold his own without the backing of a tag team partner. As champion, JBL relied on a combination of strategy, brute force, and psychological tactics to maintain his reign. He wasn't always the flashiest wrestler, but he understood the importance of storytelling in the ring. He knew how to create drama in matches, build tension, and make victories feel meaningful. His heel persona allowed him to play mind games with opponents, turning simple matches into intense character-driven conflicts. Fans remember this period as one of JBL's most compelling, where he balanced aggression with cunning, proving he could carry a show as the top villain. Beyond the ring, Layfield's personality helped him stand out in interviews, promos, and media appearances. JBL had a way of speaking that was both confident and persuasive, which made his segments engaging. His ability to talk down to opponents and fans added depth to his character. When he wasn't wrestling, he was often seen in segments showcasing his wealth, arrogance, and business savvy. This made him a unique figure in WWE, a blend of a classic wrestler and a larger-than-life TV character. JBL's career also included memorable feuds with some of the biggest names in wrestling history. He faced off against stars like Eddie Guerrero, The Undertaker, and John Cena, among others. Each feud was carefully crafted to highlight JBL's strengths and his opponents. He knew how to play the role of the antagonist, drawing out reactions from both the audience and his rival. His matches weren't just about athleticism, they were about storytelling, making every confrontation feel personal and high stakes. One of the key elements of JBL's career was his adaptability. He could adjust his style depending on the opponent, the audience, and the type of show. Whether it was a fast-paced match or a brutal brawl, JBL understood how to maintain intensity and keep fans invested. He also transitioned smoothly between different eras of WWE, adapting to the changing tone of programming while staying true to his character. This versatility allowed him to remain relevant over the years, moving from tag teams to singles competition and even into commentary and analysis later on. Outside of the ring, Layfield developed a reputation as a savvy businessman. His JBL persona as a wealthy tycoon wasn't entirely fictional. He became a genuine authority on financial matters and later hosted shows on financial literacy. This combination of wrestling fame and real-world business insight gave him a unique place in pop culture. Fans could respect him for his athletic accomplishments, while also seeing him as someone who leveraged his wrestling success into other ventures. By the time Layfield transitioned away from active wrestling, his legacy was firmly established. He had left an indelible mark on WWE history, not only through his championship reigns and memorable feuds, but also through his ability to entertain, provoke, and engage fans. From his early days as Bradshaw to his rise as JBL, John Layfield's career was a mix of skill, personality, and timing. His story is one of evolution, showing how a wrestler can reinvent themselves while staying relevant across decades. In addition to his in-ring accomplishments, Layfield also contributed to the broader wrestling community. He mentored younger talent, shared insights on character development, and helped create compelling storylines. His understanding of the business side of wrestling made him a valuable figure behind the scenes as well, giving advice to those looking to navigate the complex world of professional wrestling. Through this combination of athleticism, character work, and business acumen, Layfield built a career that remains memorable for fans worldwide. By the end of his active wrestling days, JBL had not only captured championships but also captured attention. His persona, storylines, and in-ring work created a legacy that continues to be discussed. While his character often drew heat as a villain, it was a heat that came from respect. Respect for his ability to tell a story, to draw fans into a world where drama, skill, and charisma intersect. John Layfield's career is a testament to persistence, adaptability, and understanding the power of persona in professional wrestling. While John Layfield's career in the ring was impressive, his backstage reputation tells a much different story. Over the years, several former WWE talents, staff members, and commentators have shared accounts of his alleged behavior, painting a picture of a man who could be aggressive, intimidating, and at times outright bullying. Some viewed his actions as ribbing or playful pranks, but others reported incidents that were more serious and troubling. These accounts have created a lasting conversation about WWE's culture and the way it handled backstage conflicts. One of the most widely cited claims comes from former WWE ring announcer Justin Roberts. Roberts shared stories of harassment during his time on the road with WWE, claiming that JBL instigated the theft of his passport while on an overseas tour. This wasn't just a minor prank. Losing a passport mid-tour can cause serious travel complications and stress. Other peers, including Johnny Mundo, have corroborated parts of Roberts' account, stating that JBL had, in fact, instructed someone to take the passport. These allegations contributed to an ongoing narrative about how some talent could exploit power dynamics backstage, creating an atmosphere where fear or intimidation became part of daily life. Former WWE commentator Mauro Ranallo also publicly addressed his experiences with JBL. Ranallo struggled with depression and mental health challenges, and his absence from a WWE Network show coincided with reports that Layfield had mocked and belittled him during his tenure. Ranallo described moments where he felt targeted, undermined, and publicly shamed. While some interpreted these interactions as typical wrestling heat, many argued that the repeated belittlement crossed professional boundaries. It raised questions about the limits of locker room humor and what behavior should be considered unacceptable, especially when it affects a performer's mental health. The list of individuals who have described negative experiences with JBL doesn't stop there. Wrestlers and staff such as the Blue Meanie, Rene Dupree, Mark Henry, and The Miz have all made public statements about moments they found hostile or intimidating. While not all accounts are identical, a pattern emerges of a figure who could create tension and conflict, intentionally or otherwise. Some people saw JBL's methods as a form of control or dominance, ensuring that he maintained influence over his peers. Others argued that it was unnecessary aggression, highlighting a darker side of backstage wrestling culture that fans rarely see. One of the most talked about incidents occurred in 2008 during a Middle Eastern tour. Former ECW announcer Joey Styles reportedly confronted JBL after enduring continuous harassment. The situation escalated to the point where Styles allegedly punched Layfield. Stories from those familiar with the incident suggest that Styles had reached a breaking point, and the confrontation was a direct result of sustained negative treatment. This event stands out because it shows the extreme tension that could build in a wrestling environment when repeated behavior goes unchecked. Even within the competitive world of professional wrestling, physical confrontations among talent are rare and usually stem from deeper conflicts. These incidents also bring attention to WWE's broader history with backstage bullying. For years, reports have emerged of a culture where intimidation and hazing were tolerated or ignored. JBL's behavior is often discussed in this context, as it highlights how certain individuals could exert power over others without facing immediate consequences. Some former talent argue that management often stayed silent, either to avoid controversy or because the issues were normalized within the industry. This combination of personal conduct and organizational oversight has left a lasting impression, shaping conversations about what changes are needed to ensure a safer environment for performers. These allegations extend beyond verbal harassment. They also include more public forms of intimidation, where individuals felt targeted during shows, interviews, or live events. In many cases, it wasn't just about one-off incidents. It was a series of interactions that built up over time, creating ongoing stress for those involved. For performers like Mauro Ranallo and Justin Roberts, these experiences had tangible effects on their mental health and professional confidence. Their willingness to speak out years later demonstrates how deeply such treatment can impact a person and why it remains a relevant topic today. WWE's reaction, or lack thereof, to these incidents is part of the broader conversation. Some former staff have said that while complaints were sometimes made, management often avoided direct confrontation with top talent. This created an environment where behavior that might otherwise have been addressed was allowed to continue, leaving victims feeling unprotected. The recurring theme in these stories is that talent with status or influence could act in ways others could not challenge, reinforcing a hierarchy that made bullying more likely. Despite the controversy, JBL has maintained a significant public presence. He transitioned into media, commentary, and financial analysis, carving out a second career that distances him from wrestling's locker room culture. However, the stories shared by former colleagues continue to follow his legacy, raising questions about accountability and the culture of professional wrestling during his era. Fans and industry insiders often debate the line between character work, rivalry, and real-world aggression, and JBL's case is frequently cited as a prime example. These issues also serve as a cautionary tale. They highlight the importance of accountability, transparency, and respect in high-pressure environments. WWE has faced criticism for its handling of these and similar situations, and the conversation has fueled broader awareness about how talent should be treated. For many, the JBL controversies are not just stories of one individual, they are emblematic of systemic challenges within professional wrestling, emphasizing the need for cultural change and better protections for performers. That's a wrap on today's video. Make sure to hit like and subscribe so you never miss an update.